For the first time in a long while, the upcoming NBA offseason could come and go without a star changing teams in free agency. But the trade market could be a different story entirely. Conditions seem perfect for some landscape-shifting blockbusters. With free agency short on both present-focused buyers and high-level hoopers for hire, teams in search of major adjustments might need to orchestrate trades to make them happen. Even if our crystal ball proves correct and Giannis Antetokounmpo, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid and Bradley Beal all stay put, several notable names could still be on the move. We spotlighted the 5 best and brokered deals to get them onto new rosters. Milwaukee Bucks receive Chris Paul. Oklahoma City Thunder receive Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, Ersan Ilyasova, DJ Wilson and No. 24 pick via Indiana Pacers. Milwaukee's best bet to convince Giannis Antetokounmpo to sign a supermax contract extension would have been to make a championship run. That didn't happen. The Bucks couldn't even make it out of the second round as their supporting cast showed its warts in a 5-game series loss to the 5th-seeded Miami Heat. Upgrading the roster is a must to make the new sales pitch, and Bucks Governor Mark Lasry told Antetokounmpo the franchise would spend into the luxury tax to deliver him a championship supporting cast, per ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. This swap would put the organization's money where its mouth is, as CP3's contract is colossal, $41.4 million for his age 35 season with a $44.2 million player option for 2021-22. But the point guard could be exactly what this offense needs to avoid more playoff pitfalls. The Bucks, who ranked 8th in offensive efficiency this postseason, need Paul's shot creation and shot making to navigate critical half-court possessions. He can finish plays on his own 76th percentile on isolations, but his passing would be the real needle mover for Milwaukee. His quarterbacking could make Antetokounmpo unstoppable rolling to the basket, allow Chris Middleton to focus less on playmaking and more on his lethal pull-up game, 3rd highest effective field goal percentage among players who averaged 5+ attempts, and weaponize every unattended Bucks shooter. As for the Thunder, this would send them further into the full-scale rebuild that's been inevitable since Russell Westbrook and Paul George sought one-way tickets out of town last summer. OKC would accomplish 3 things here. First, it would hopefully find at least one long-term keeper between the pick and the 24-year-old Wilson. Second, it would make balancing the budget easier without Paul's mammoth money on the books. Finally, it would grease the wheels for additional asset-grabbing trades. Bledsoe, Hill and Ilyasova could all appeal to win-now contenders, who could send more picks or prospects to the Sooner State. Minnesota Timberwolves receive Victor Oladipo. Indiana Pacers receive James Johnson, Jarrett Culver and No. 1 pick. Though the Timberwolves hit the draft lottery jackpot, they don't have to collect their winnings in the form of an unpolished prospect. Instead, they can flip the selection for a player more capable of providing Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell with immediate assistance. How good would Oladipo look as part of basketball's next big 3? Assuming a return to full health, by no means a given considering he's still feeling the effects of January 2019 knee surgery, he might enjoy synergetic stardom with his new running mates. Oladipo is a better attacker than shooter. Towns and Russell are accurate enough from distance to keep defenders honest and open up attack lanes, but they are, how do we put this, not always the most willing defenders. Oladipo is a former all-defensive first-teamer who can handle multiple positions and causes all kinds of havoc as an off-ball disruptor. All 3 can create shots off the dribble, all 3 are willing passers, all 3 have at least one 20-point scoring average on their resume, and all 3 have been an all-star within the past 2 seasons. If they click, and Malik Beasley returns from restricted free agency as potent as he was after the trade deadline, Minnesota could compete for a top 4 seed in the West as soon as next season. That potential payoff would make this worth the risks of Oladipo's injury history and uncertain future. Unrestricted free agency awaits him in 2021. For the Pacers, this would be a chance to reset on the fly. They're already making a coaching change, so they clearly aren't interested in the status quo. Oladipo might refuse to commit to their future. There have been rumblings he wasn't planning to re-sign. For the Athletics' Sam Amick, or Indy could opt against paying big for a 28-year-old with a major injury in his recent past and a relatively small sample of stardom. Either way, the Pacers might prefer adding the No. 1 pick, plus last year's No. 6 pick in Culver. Johnson is a money matcher in this exchange, but he could offer additional value to Indy if someone wants his expiring $16 million salary player option to increase their buying power ahead of 2021 free agency. Golden State Warriors receive John Collins and Kevin Huerter. Atlanta Hawks receive Kevon Looney, Jordan Poole and No. 2 pick. A worst-to-first leap is not out of the question for the Warriors. Next season's group will reunite Draymond Green with, hopefully, healthy versions of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, forming a trio that has already delivered 3 world titles to the Bay. Of course, Golden State's 3 stars were younger and better supported back when they were taking annual trips to the finals 2015-19. For this to work, the Warriors might need serious upgrades to the roster, and it's not realistic to ask that of whichever prospect gets selected second overall. That's why they might simply ship it out for more immediate help. Collins and Huerter could provide just that. Collins is already a nightly supplier of 21.6 points and 10.1 rebounds, and the 22-year-old's arsenal is bursting at the seams. He upped his rim protection and added a 3-ball, which he hit at a 40.1% clip, this past season, and his explosive athleticism could have an even greater impact if he was able to play off gravitational forces like Curry and Thompson. Huerter, meanwhile, would scratch a big itch for supplemental shooting. Atlanta brought him in to play the Thompson role in its Warriors East model, and the stat sheet can see the resemblance. Huerter has averaged 2.0 threes on 38.3% shooting through 2 seasons. Thompson was at 2.2 and 40.6 at the same stage of his career. The Hawks could jump at the opportunity to find a high-ceiling backcourt mate for Trae Young, presumably Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball, while shedding Collins before he needs his first non-rookie contract. As productive as the bouncy big man has been, Atlanta is reportedly hesitant about giving him significant money, per The Athletic's Chris Kirschner, and it created some skill overlap when it added Clint Capella at the trade deadline. The Hawks would do this deal for the pick, but Looney and Poole could emerge as keepers, too. The 24-year-old Looney offers impressive defensive versatility when he can stay healthy, and the 21-year-old Poole might become a quick strike scorer with an array of off-the-dribble finishing moves. Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, and share my videos. Thank you.